And Balde. Dani Olmo. It's Gavi. Well seen, saw that coming.
He read that really well and stopped it.
Driving on and making good progress. Could have been dangerous, but it came to nothing. So time for change, and this one has been on the cards for a little while.
I think you have to admire his willingness to keep plugging away, but the manager has done him a big favour, I think, by taking him off. You know, he was looking very, very leggy.
Well, there's the clearance. Rice. And he cuts out the supply.
Barcelona really have been second best here, second to every ball, and they can't have any complaints about where they are now. The good thing is they haven't given up, but it's not looking favourable.
Balde promptly onto that, and that is that. Gavi. And it's played forward. Dani Olmo. Balde. And Dani Olmo. Tierney. Not too much more here than seeing out time, and time is very nearly seen out. White. Saka. Referee looks at his watch and blows his whistle. Barcelona perhaps ended up out of ideas and out of steam. Some warm...
La alineación del Barcelona será...
Hello and welcome one and all. The atmosphere building very nicely here. Gorgeous, gorgeous evening. The skies are clear, the noise is fervent, the atmosphere frenetic. Well, there's a real familiarity about these scenes here. The followers of one of the most formidable teams in the history of football, ensuring that yet again this will be an occasion for the game's ultimate glitterati. It is a true heavyweight clash.
Well, with nothing resting on this, Peter, I'm hoping that there'll be more impetus for the players to just enjoy the game with the pressure off, try out a few different things, and we get something open and free-flowing.
And already we're underway here. Balde. Oh, good read.
That's great positioning, so good from him.
Dani Olmo. Real chance here. Ferran Torres! Oh, fine stop from the keeper.
Really looked sharp there, didn't he? That's very well played.
Jim, who do you reckon is pivotal?
Well, Peter, I really like this fella, Alexander Zinchenko, for his versatility and his nous.
He rises! He's done very well to get to that.
Nwaneri really must be thinking what he has to do to score there.
Balde. And that's been intercepted.
He read that really well and stopped it.
Could have been dangerous, but it came to nothing. Barcelona have had plenty of possession, but few, if any, genuine chances. Koundé. Pedri. Well seen, saw that coming.
That was well played, well stopped.
Oh, a delicate chip through. Schwarzer! Well, the finish certainly didn't match the build-up.
Oh, it was such a clever pass that flummoxed the defence, and it could well be revisited, this.
Defending of the desperate variety. And now they can spring out of defence. Barcelona are looking to break at pace. Koundé. And here's Yamal. It's Gavi. And Dani Olmo. And that interception was most necessary.
He read that really well and stopped it.
Valde. And here's Dani Olmo. Nice sequence of passes, this. Gavi. And he's there to belt it away. And it's hoisted clear. And here's Rafinha. Oh, good read.
That's great positioning, so good from him.
Oh, the ball's gone astray. Pedri. Oh dear, less said about that pass the better. Martinelli was only too happy to help out in defence.
Yeah, listen, we often get critical of a forward's tackle, but that was squeaky clean.
Passes short and sharp. Little pass back.
Really got in his face there, and it was well played.
Martinelli engages and forces him off the ball. Martinelli was alert to the possibilities, but in the end it's fruitless. Kubasi still waiting for the game's first breakthrough goal. Yamal, and that's been intercepted.
That was well played, well stopped.
Well, that's beautifully weighted. Now it's Trossard. Martinelli is wide and looking to get onto this. Pedri, and now the breakaway. And Dani Olmo. Gavi. Dani Olmo. And here's Rafinha, who played through for the wide man. Heads it! Oh, that was no routine save.
That's very, very good. You can't ask for much more than that.
And that'll be the final action of the first half. As if we needed reminding, no easy games at this level, and that is proven here. Neither side any further forward from where they were 45 minutes ago, but it is far from lethargic, far from slow, highly engaging, but goalless. How would you review the first half?
Barcelona have been playing relatively well from what I've witnessed. Good movement, and the ball retention has been quite strong, and it's led to a few chances. It's just that cutting edge that's lacking at the moment, and it's fixable.
Barcelona head to the dressing room, not yet having broken through. Tight, cagey game. Neither team any further forward than they were when they started out. And we are back on the way.
Well, I can imagine both managers have been in the ears of the players. They want more. Let's hope the game comes to life sooner rather than later.
Araujo. Barcelona do appear to have made a half-time change.
Well, we're certainly going to see a change in personnel. We'll see if the system changes with it.
Stood up well to him there.
How many interceptions have we seen now? Someone's got to up the quality and set an example.
Partey. Ranieri. Up towards the hour mark and still no goals. That is ended up in no man's land. Koundé. Yamal. Pedri. Arsenal applying the press here, a high press.
Yeah, we see this so often these days, but it does demand an awful lot of work rate and, of course, the discipline, because it has to be with everyone. It can't be with one or two. If that starts happening here, it'll just fall away.
Yeah, there are so much of them, but of course... Trossard! Denied by an instinctive save.
I think he's done great there, both reading it and dealing with it.
And the goalkeeper's got a good palm to that. Barcelona are looking to go forward now. Now it's Martinelli. Yamal. No breakthrough and well into the second period. It is still anyone's game. And Rafinha. Barcelona are, of course, in a position to go to the bench should the need arise. Jorginho. Gavi. It's Lewandowski! It's a goal! That really is quite fabulous. All his own doing. Barcelona have penetrated for the first time.
Look, you can't deny that it's a blow, but this game is far from unsalvageable.
He's had it taken off him. Now it's Lewandowski, and he's onside. He's had a shot! And that has earned a few nods of approval from the bench. Barcelona have their second corner now. Well, he's felt that, hasn't he? Well, that pass isn't the best. Martinelli proving a very adept defender. It was a good tackle too.
Well, it's not a surprise to see that these days, all part of a forward's duties.
Well, it looked promising for a moment, but it came to nothing.
Barcelona surely have to be commended for their drive and desire. Most teams would be taking the easier defensive route by now.
Oh, he's enjoyed that. He evidently loves the contest. And if you have just joined us, still just one goal between them. And the score is 1-0. Rafinha. Kubasi. Araujo. 1-0 as we head towards the end. Pedri. It's Gavi. Rafinha. Now it's Dani Olmo. Rafinha looking to run onto it. He can get that clear. Partey. Now it's Trossard. Out to the right. And again, they run up against stubborn defending.
I think we're about to see a frenetic finish. No half measures from here.
Referee's given a throw. So the manager can make a change for the first time in the game here.
Well, for me, this was the obvious substitution. He'd become just a little jaded, and as a result of that, he was most likely to make a mistake. I think sometimes when the body becomes tired, the brain goes with it, and I think that's happened in this case.
Very much into the last knockings. Saka. That's a throw. Rafinha. Into stoppage time, very little left on it. but he's taking no chances there. And that is as far as it goes. Well, that was tense. Boy, that was tense. The two sides separated by the game's only goal. Lewandowski claiming the Man of the Match award, and there is very little room for argument. Your reflections then, Jim?
Yeah, it was a fairly stern test with very little between two teams that scrapped for everything.
Many thanks to Jim, and with that, it is a very good night to you.
La alineación del Barcelona será...
Well, what a sight this is, a beautiful evening, and the promise of a match that will really get the juices flowing. Well, there's a real familiarity about these scenes here, the followers of one of the most formidable teams in the history of football, ensuring that, yet again, this will be an occasion for the game's ultimate glitterati. Well, this is the perfect game for all parties, not least the neutrals who've just come to enjoy it.
Well, with nothing resting on this, Peter, I'm hoping that there'll be more impetus for the players to just enjoy the game with the pressure off, try out a few different things, and we get something open and free-flowing.
And already we're underway here. Kivior. Oh, he's found support out wide. And he's straight offside. Jim, who do you pick out as the telling individual today?
The defensive qualities of William Saliba. For me, Peter, he's someone who's shown great leadership from such a young age when starting his career in France. I see a lot of bravery and courage, and I think they're words you associate with somebody who is very good in both boxes.
Yeah, he'll certainly be leaving his mark on this game, quite possibly actually at both ends. And here's Lewandowski. Well, they're certainly pressing with purpose here, looking for the runner. Rafinha looking to get on the end of this. Jorginho.
Well, both teams are proceeding with caution, but there's plenty of time to wait for some attacking purpose.
Tierney. And here's Martinelli. Rice. Zinchenko. Tierney is very much the model of the modern-day fullback. Well, that pass isn't the best. Dani Olmo.
They want to be quick here. It's breakaway time.
It's Gavi. Pedri. And here's Dani Olmo. Martinelli.
We're seeing some really good pressure being applied here, Peter, particularly from those guys up front.
Yeah, and it just, I suppose, Jim, denies the others time and space.
Well, I would call it blanket suffocation. Every single player is committed to the press, and there's simply no way out.
Rice unable to make it happen for all his good intentions. Martinelli. Well, that had the makings of something quite promising, but it's fizzled out into nothing. And once more, he proves rigid and robust. Jorginho. Trossard. Tierney. Rice. Pressing high and with purpose. Now Saliba. And it's Jorginho. Partey. Now Saliba. Partey. Zinchenko. For Rice. Pass is just off target. And here's Trossard. Good read, needed to be. Big header! Al Kubasi gets it clear. Saliba. Tierney. Koundé cuts it out. And there's no such thing as a bad time to score, but this would sure be a good time. Balde. Dani Olmo. We've got 5 minutes till half-time. And Koundé. Pedri. Oh, and he's through the middle. And that interception was most necessary.
That's great positioning, so good from him.
Can he get onto this? Trossard. Rice. And here's Martinelli! And that'll be the last act of the first half. Well, perhaps not full of thrills and spills, but a game which has been of a very high level, certainly defensively, as both teams walk off unscathed. A tight affair, 0-0 at the break. How's the first half compared with your expectation?
It's been a pretty abject performance. No efforts at goal. I'm struggling to remember the last time we had that.
An intriguing half, lacking only in goals. The score 0-0. And we are already promptly back underway. 0-0, and we're at the halfway point. And that's a throw-in. It's a poor throw that, picked off with relative ease. Yamal, he's found a way through. Nothing wrong with that tackle, ball won cleanly. Partey. Now Kivior. For Rice. Araujo. Balde. And here's Yamal. Koundé. Zinchenko producing a good steal there, showing a good level of alertness. Can he spark a counter here? Rice. Now it's Trossard. Trossard stood his ground strongly. Martinelli. Shot at goal! It's there!
Well, when it's pieced together as efficiently as that, it's a joy to watch.
So the first goal of the game.
Well, listen, a few words of advice and encouragement from the manager during the break can often straighten things out, and it's paid off here.
Barcelona still this single goal behind. So what can they make of this? Oh, he wasn't being taken in by that trickery. It's all a little bit desperate, but it's got the job done.
Oh, that's brilliantly defended, though. It looked destined for a goal.
Rice. So, Jim, what are you thinking?
Well, the stats are pretty telling here. It's hard to argue with the scoreline when you carry so little threat.
And the ball is out of play. Koundé. It's Pedri. Gavi. And Dani Olmo. final ball not quite right, and his teammates are irritated at that. Ranieri. Oh, that's well spotted. Dani Olmo. Dani Olmo. Lovely feet. Turns and goes back. Decent hit! Oh, taken with style. Barcelona are back in business. It was a great finish. He put it away with great poise, dead-eye accuracy.
That's expertly finished, and he's done that so often.
And that has added a whole new complexion to the game.
Well, this is to be expected, Peter, when you've got two strong teams of fairly equal standing. The outcome should all come down to finishing.
Aims beyond the defence. Balde. Just about up to 75 minutes. Now that's well seen too. And they're not going to make any further progress now. Rice. It's a really well-measured ball. Zinchenko.
Concentration levels are very good, and so is the commitment. This game could yet yield a winner.
And here's Yamal. Koundé. Pedri. Picked out brilliantly. Has a go! Goal! Barcelona! And the game is well and truly turned on its head.
The keeper deserves some sympathy there. He may not have seen that until too late.
So time for change, and this one has been on the cards for a little while.
Well, his stamina was called into question then, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with his heart and the efforts he put in. He was very willing, though, not quite able.
Well, this is what we've been waiting for.
No doubt as to who has the momentum here now. The only doubt is how many is...
And Sterling! And it's in! That is remarkable! All square in a matter of moments.
Yeah, and analysis of the goal should take a back seat to the importance of a committed reaction. This is wonderful to watch. The invitation was received with such a clever run, and he had that defence in utter confusion.
Well, it's an inspired substitution. Terrific move by the boss.
I think the manager's claiming an assist here.
This is quite a battle.
Oh, I think the coach will really be annoyed with that. The players were still thinking about their goal and just got caught napping.
And he's away.
Well, both sides might have to settle for a draw here, although there's still a chance for one last fling.
Bout of passing here, really easy on the eye.
Oh, that was expansive and incisive, the type of move to please any coach.
We are into overtime. That's good vision. Szczesny gets it away. Now that looks a decent ball. Shade too heavy. Keeper can pick that up. White. Jorginho. And that's it. A good watch, a really good watch. Both sides toiling to try and outthink, outsmart each other. But it wasn't to be, and they're all square. Any reflections on what you've seen, Jim?
Yeah, this looked the most likely outcome, but we've had a good variety in this game, despite it being anticlimactic.
My thanks to Jim. We both wish you a very good evening.
Se ha encontrado un niño de pelo castaño de unos 5 años que viste camiseta azul y gorra roja y dice haberse perdido. Se ruega a su padre que acude a recogerlo a la puerta 26.